Hello everyone, welcome back. It's been a little bit since my last video. We had a lot of stuff going on around here. Trying to figure out plans for the 2021 Great Guitar Build-Off. Got snow up to yin-yang outside, so it's been kind of hard to get into the shop. Now that I'm back in the shop and I have some little bit of time to edit some videos, I'm going to start putting them out a little more regularly, probably once, maybe twice a week. I do have to still finish my grandson's guitar before I even start the 2021 build-off, so that's going to take a little bit. And I think that about catches everything up. So sit back, enjoy. Don't forget, if you like it, hit subscribe, hit the like, share it, whatever you got to do. Enjoy.
And we are back. Where I left off last time, we had just sanded the inlay down flush. And what I'm doing here is I'm just defining the shape. So I'm going to have to go back over it with a Dremel. And then I'm going to fill in all the over and under spots with black powder. So what I'm doing here is taking the scalpel. After I marked out all the lines where I wanted them, you take a scalpel and basically make like a V divot. And it gives that gives the powder someplace to sit. Now you don't want to press too hard on your knife when you're doing this because it's such a small area. The chances of the knife skipping and slipping and going places you don't want it to go are very, very high. Here we grab the Dremel. Basically all I'm doing, I'm just going back over all the pencil lines wherever I want black powder. I'm just making a little V-groove. I got the cone shape. I don't even know what the hell that's called. Cone shape engraver, which worked out perfect for this. And then after I get it all done, go back with the scalpel and just get all little fiddly bits, hairs and stuff that are still there that wouldn't come off with either one. And here's the black powder, courtesy of Crimson. You don't need much of this stuff at all. Just those little tiny balls will go a long way. I saw the bottle when I first got it and I was like, what is this gonna do? But as you can see, I had like 3 or 4 little balls on there and it pretty much covered a quarter of the inlay. So yeah, you don't need much of this stuff at all. What you want to do is you want to press that stuff in to all your grooves and then add super glue to it. And for the body, still trying to figure out this bottom horn, how I want to do that. Not happy with it. Looks a little too cramped up there. He's 7 years old, but he's going to use it for a while, so his hands will grow. So I'm going to fart around with that for a little bit and figure out what I need to do. And figured as long as I had the black powder, I'd go ahead and fill any cracks I had doing this inlay here, which worked out really good having the Wenge in there, because the Wenge and the black kind of cancel each other out, and I think it came out pretty good. It's very sticky, as you can tell. Just trying to use every little speck I can, scraping it off my fingers. Again, just press it in. Keep pressing it in to fill the hole, or fill any voids. I couldn't really see any voids, but I just wanted to press it in as much as possible to make sure that if there was a void, that I filled it in. And then here you put the super glue over top of it. This is really thin super glue. It's like water. So it'll seep in between all the little particles and kind of glue it all together. And sand it off, and that's what you got. I'm pretty happy with it. And that's the neck with the dried glue on it. I did run into a slight problem here. I sanded through the inlay. You got to be careful with that. If you look at the top two pieces, you'll see more and more of the fretboard coming through and less of the inlay. So I had to actually route that all out again, cut two more pieces, and yeah, right there. Cut two more pieces and then fill them in. Wasn't perfect, but not bad. It's my first inlay in a fretboard, so. And you can see how the black stayed in all the over-under lines in the Celtic knot underneath there. In case you missed the last video, that symbol there is the Celtic symbol for grandfather. And if you take the circle, the round circle that's around it, you have like a acorn shape with the Celtic knot in there, and then you have the circle. If you take the circle out, that's father. You include that circle and it's grandfather. What I did do, but I don't know why I didn't put it in this video, is I made those two pieces first. And then I set them on where I wanted them, and then I outlined them with that X-Acto knife. I don't know why I didn't put that in the video, but yeah, it's a lot easier if you cut the pieces first and then trace what you have, as opposed to the way I originally did it, where it was make a big cavity and then try to cut a piece that fits in that cavity. That didn't work too well. Oh, here it is. You make the piece first, trim around it, and then you get the outline, and then you just take out the middle. It's a lot easier than the way I tried to do it the first time. Now, like I said, be careful with that knife. I mean, you press too hard or try to go too fast, too quick, and it will skip across that fretboard. You don't want to be trying to fix that. So what you're doing is you're cutting a little bit deeper groove where you traced it, and then you want to cut like a little V to meet that groove, and you just keep going that deeper and deeper until you get your final depth, and then you can just excavate the bottom till it's a flat surface. And here I grab my largest chisel, not necessarily the sharpest chisel, and just whittled it down till I got to the surface of the fretboard. And yeah, doesn't look too bad. And here I'm just finalizing not finalizing. Here I'm roughing out the headstock shape. And I lost my little block that had all the 1 through 24 that I put my frets in. So I lined them up on the table one after another. It seemed to work out fine. Here what I'm doing is I'm putting a slight V, one to help the frets seat better, and two, it helps if you ever have to do a refret, it doesn't pull your fretboard apart when you're trying to get it out. And this part right here, don't ever. I don't know why I use masking tape. I've never used masking tape for this. It's just what I had on quickly to grab, and you'll find out later why. Clean out any dust and debris that may be in the slot before you put the glue in. And tap one side, tap the other, and then start in the middle and tap the fret out. Watch your fingers. This is where you'll see why it's better to use painter's tape than masking tape. Painter's tape doesn't rip all to hell like this. But, you know, if you got an extra hour or two you want to spend peeling masking tape off your fretboard, go ahead. With that done, I'm going to clip off all the ends. I try to put a little bit of an angle on these when I snip the ends. That way it takes a little bit of the work off the fret file, which is right here. It already has a slight angle on it. You don't need that much work with the fret file. And I smartened up and I used my painter's tape. Now we're going to do a little polishing. So if you take this piece that you cut off of your larger frets, you can spin it around and put it down here on your smaller frets. And it'll save on wasting a whole hell of a lot of tape when you're doing this. You get two for the price of one. Just watch your fingers. And for some reason I didn't show the leveling process, but you put a black marker on top of the frets, run your leveling beam over really lightly, and you keep doing that until you have removed the black from all your frets. Then you do this here. You take your file and you round off the edges that have flattened out. And now I start with 400 and go this way. And then I grab Then I grab 800 and I go the opposite direction until I can't see any of these sand marks from the 400 grit. And then I go to 1200 and I go the opposite direction again until I can't see the sand marks from the 800. And then I'm ready to polish. And all I use for buffing is the wheel on a Dremel and some chrome polish from my motorcycle. And you'll see here it's a lot easier to pull this painter's tape off than it was that masking tape. And that's a done deal. Not too shabby. No ridges. Nice and smooth.
And that seems like the perfect place to stop. So, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. hit the like, leave a comment, all the good YouTube stuff. Until next time, see ya.